This presentation is on reasons for the growth of cities. We are still going to be looking at the same exact time period as industrialization. We have not moved forward in time at all, but now instead of looking at the businesses that were being built, we are going to look at the people who are working in the factories and who are coming to America to live in our cities. I just want to take a moment, since we're about a quarter of the way through the school year now, and give you some steps on how to get the most out of these flipped lesson videos. So step 1, I want you to view the video without looking at the notes. All of the videos are very short, and it will help solidify the knowledge in your mind. So if you have your paper next to you or your pencil in your hand, I want you to flip your paper over to the blank side, put your pencil down. If you're typing out your responses, take your hands off the keyboard and just relax and watch the video one time through without filling in your notes. Step 2, stop the video when it's done. Look at your notes, so flip over your paper, go back to it on the screen, and try to fill in as many as you can without rewatching the video. So see what you picked up from the first time through. This will help you know later on what do you need to study and what do you already know. And then step 3, watch the video again and pause as you complete the areas of the notes that you are missing. So please make sure and try this time and take the time to do this. Let's get started. Growing cities. Urbanization is a vocabulary term that means the growth of cities. You see the word urban right here, and we've discussed that as meaning cities. Specialized industries and businesses often located in cities. And the reasons for this we talked about during industrialization. There's a large workforce to pull from in the cities. Plus they have access to other things that they need and a large market to sell to. So if you look at the table below, this is number 3 on your assignment. I'm not going to type this in for you since we already have covered this information, but I will go over it verbally. So we talked about cities and we talked about specialized industries during industrialization. And we talked about 4 areas in particular. So one was Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh is the first city. The specialized industry located in Pittsburgh was steel. We talked about the Steelers being a way to remember that. The second city was Detroit. And Detroit is the home of the automobile industry. Henry Ford was centered there with his factory making cars. The next one is Chicago. Chicago is the center of the meatpacking industry, and we will go through how life was in these factories during this time period throughout this unit. And finally, it's not a city, but the Northeast region, and that's home to the textile industry. So go ahead and fill in those notes as you need, but you should know those 4 places, where they are, and what industry is centered there at this point. People moved. Immigrants from other countries came to the United States cities. They came to work, and we'll talk about the reasons why they would leave their home and come to America in just a moment. So while these immigrants were coming to America, Americans were also moving from rural areas to urban areas looking for jobs. With the mechanization of farming, farmers needed less labor on their farms, and so they let many of their workers go. These workers needed to find new places to work, and so at the same time, industries are centering in cities, building factories, and the people who were let go of their farm job were able to move to the city and get a new job to supply food for their families and shelter and clothing. An immigrant is someone who leaves their own country and comes to America with the intention of staying. So they're not here just for a short time and they're going back. They're moving here. They're planning on having their children here and raising them here, and generations down the line as well. In the photograph, you can see a group of immigrant workers from the steel factories in Pittsburgh. There's a large movement of people to cities during this time period. Okay. Push factors. Push factors cause people to want to leave their own country. So now we're going to discuss those reasons why people left their home and came to America. So push factors push people out of their country. They're bad things that are happening to them in their home country. And most of the immigrants during this time period come from Europe. So they come from Eastern Europe and they come from Southern Europe. And we'll look at a map together about what that means exactly. But Eastern and Southern Europe, and then we get some from China as well on the West Coast. But for our purposes, we're going to focus on mostly those from Eastern and Southern Europe. So things that are happening in their own countries that push them out are poverty. Poverty is being so poor that you can't get out of it. They can't see a way out. There's no opportunity for advancement. That's poverty. Hunger, they can't afford to buy food, or in some cases there is no food due to some issues that took place in that country. Or they want to escape from an oppressive government. An oppressive government is one that restricts your rights. There's little freedom. And you struggle to get by on a daily basis. And so these are 3 reasons. There are several more, but these are the 3 main reasons we are going to discuss on why people wanted to leave their own country. So they were pushed out. So on the flip side of that are pull factors. Pull factors cause people to want to come to the United States. It's a draw, it's an attraction. It's why they came here and didn't go somewhere else. So they hope for better opportunities. America has been trumpeted as the land of the free, and they know if they come here, they'll get an opportunity for advancement. And there's a lot of industry taking place, so they know they'll be able to get a job. In often cases, family members have gone on before them alone to America and sent back letters of success and making money and having a place to live and things like that. And so they have a great hope for better opportunities, these immigrants. They also have a desire for religious freedom. In many of their home countries, they are not able to practice the religion that they would like to practice. And so America offers that freedom, a desire for adventure. Some people just want a change of pace and something new to do in their lives. And so they would get on a steamship, make the journey across the Atlantic Ocean from Europe, get off in New York Harbor, and they are ready for adventure. Some would stop there and stay and work in the factories, and some would get on a train and move further west. They're also looking for a sense of equality. They want to be treated fairly, and they've heard that America is the land of freedom, and so they will achieve a sense of equality here. It will be a struggle for them to get that sense of equality in many cases, and we'll look at that as we go through this unit. So now take a moment and pause the video to reflect and answer the final question on your homework page with your own thoughts and ideas. That answer is not in this video. It's asking you to take what you learned from the knowledge portion of this video and reflect on it in your notes. So this presentation explains to you the reasons for the growth of cities during industrialization and why people decided to come to America during this time period. I look forward to continuing this discussion with you in class.